A sharply divided U.S. Supreme Court has tossed out part of one of the most significant civil rights laws ever passed in this country. Here's a rundown of what you need to know. First off, Section 5. That's the part of the 1965 Voting Rights Act scrapped by the High Court. That provision meant parts of the country with a history of discrimination laws needed approval from the feds before they could make changes to their election laws, which the High Court upheld. But it struck down the highly contentious map that goes along with it. The court said in a 5-4 ruling the map, which determines what states and counties are covered by the Voting Rights Act, is outdated and in need of revision. In his majority opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote, "Our country has changed, and while any racial discrimination in voting is too much, Congress must ensure that the legislation it passes to remedy that problem speaks to current conditions," leaving Congress to redraw the map, something of a long shot, according to NBC's Pete Williams.
The question is, how likely do you think Congress is to do something major like this?
Translation:
voting rights supervised out of Washington looks like it's over for a significant chunk of the country.
But does the map need an update? The majority said the problem of minority disenfranchisement has largely been solved, pointing to the Mississippi data to back up their point. 2004 census stats showed the turnout rate among white voters in the state was 60%, compared to nearly 70% voter turnout among blacks. Now the decision could play a major role in determining the legal status of several voting-related laws tied up in the courts, a concern of many civil rights activists. Take, for example, Texas's highly controversial photo ID law, which the Texas Tribune says has been bogged down in the courts due in part to the Voting Rights Act. Still, the Daily Beast's Michael Tomasky says don't expect much of an impact until after the 2022 census, if at all. It's my hunch that in states where, like Virginia, blacks have attained a certain baseline level of political influence, the impacts of this can be kept somewhat minimal, especially at the federal level. A decision is expected Wednesday on the other landmark issue pending before the court, gay marriage. For Newsy, I'm Elizabeth Hagedorn.